The following program is presented by the Metropolitan Library Service Agency.
Hello, welcome to All About Kids, a program focusing on the interests of children and young people and some of the issues affecting them. Our guest today, media specialist Bob Knight from Ridgeview Elementary School in Bloomington, will be talking with Children's Services Librarian Phyllis Mattill from Hennepin County Library's Penn Lake branch. They'll be discussing a collaborative program, the Bloomington All-Star Readers. Following the interview, fourth grade students representing the Bloomington Elementary Schools will be talking about some of their favorite books. They're all participating in this 1992-93 school year program.
We're here today to talk about the Bloomington fourth grade All-Stars. And Bob, maybe you could tell us how this program started. This is the third year of it, and it has been very successful so far. Give us some background on it.
Well, there is some history in Bloomington that has gotten us to this point. One of the things that was called to the attention of the media center directors when the school district changed from a kindergarten through sixth grade elementary setup to a kindergarten through fourth grade. We discovered that the contests, book contests, promotional contests that we'd been involved in before had books in them that were above the level of the fourth graders. Speaking of the Mata Hart Lovelace program that we were involved with. So we decided that maybe we should come up with one of our own. And so that was kind of the birth of the Bloomington fourth grade All-Star program, where we would look for books that were more appropriate for kids that were in the fourth grade. And so that's kind of the way it started 3 years ago, and it's blossomed into something that we all look forward to each year.
How are the books chosen each year? Is there input from more than one source?
Absolutely. The great part about this is that we've kind of developed a partnership with the Hennepin County Libraries, and we form a committee each year. Some different people in the media centers in the elementary schools, along with the librarians from the Hennepin County Library, get together to talk about what books we should have in there that would interest kids. Try to get a variety. When I say variety, I'm talking about all levels of reading, because we realize that not all fourth graders are reading at the same level. Some are reading above level and some below. Some, in fact, pick books according to how thick they are. So we try to get a variety. We look for books that stress different cultures, books about different aspects of life, quality literature that the kids will enjoy and hopefully will encourage them to continue reading and set a good example for the younger kids.
So this is really done in the school. What's sort of the procedure that you go through in introducing these to the fourth graders?
Well, I think it's similar in all of the buildings in that the media center director kind of takes the lead and maybe gives a little book talk. This may be that the kids come to the media center itself, or maybe the media center person goes to each classroom, talks about each of the 10 books that are in the program. Also, the Hennepin County librarians write to the authors and oftentimes get letters back from those authors of the books that have been chosen for the program. We can share those letters, and it's fun to share the enthusiasm of the authors when they find out that their book has been chosen to be a part of this, and we share that with the kids and give them a little bit of just a little bit of an introduction to what the books are about, generate interest. The teachers also become involved when they listen to it, and very often they will choose to read some of the books out loud in the classrooms. And so between giving them a boost from the media center and boost from their classroom teachers, and also boost from the public library in that they are also buying large numbers of these books and making them available for the kids, we get them involved, and they seem to enjoy it.
How do you feel the students have responded to this? Are they enthusiastic? And eager to start?
Definitely enthusiastic. The first week that the program starts, you can't find a copy of those books in your school, and I hear it's the same in the public libraries. They immediately go there and check out everything that they have. After that, it calms down a little, but there gets to be an air of how many have you read, and you hear conversations between the kids of which one did you like the best, which one did you like the best, and so that kind of passes through the 4th grade. The interesting thing that has happened at Ridgeview, where I work, is that the 3rd graders are starting to catch on to this, and we're kind of having to hold them off from using those books. So the 4th graders will have the opportunity, because the contest does end in February, and we want the 4th graders to have an opportunity to read as many as they can. So the kids are clamoring, and the word travels. When a good book is read, they pass the word.
Do the teachers enjoy it too, having this list to work from for the year?
They really do. And I think two things happen. One is that when we select the books, we have a good variety, so that many times the teachers can look at what they're doing in their reading program and see that if they're into mysteries or something like that, that there's a book that matches that in the All-Star program. So for that reason, they're enthusiastic, but they also are just enthusiastic to read out loud to the kids, and this is a good selection of books for them to do that with.
What's the culmination then? I know that it all comes to a head in February, so what happens then?
Well, that's an exciting part. The Hennepin County Libraries put on a party, I guess is what you would call it, where the kids that have read the books come together, and an artist will be there. I think this year is
Doug Wood.
Doug Wood is coming this year to talk to the kids about how you put together a book, and then they hear what book won, because all the while that the reading is going on, the kids know that they're going to be asked in February, at the beginning of February, to vote for their favorite book. So they know that all of the 4th graders in the city of Bloomington have been reading, and they're going to cast their ballot for the book that is the most popular in 4th grade. So at that party, then, that winning book is announced, and it will be at the Penn Library this year, I believe, and so we're looking forward to that, and I know the kids are too. And they always like the cookies and the drink that they get when they're there.
Do you feel like you get a little more participation each year as this goes on?
It's definitely the case at Ridgeview. I know that the first year that we did this, it took more work on my part to get more kids involved. Last year, very little work on my part, and we had a number of kids who were excited about the reading, and I think the same thing is going on this year, and it's just exciting to see a program that you put effort into, and as a media center person, as a librarian, that you want to encourage the kids to read, that the kids pick up on it and go for. And I think it has to do with the selection of the books and the conversations they have with one another, and so it just perpetuates itself. It's really a good way to instill the value of reading in the kids.
And a good way to have the public libraries and public schools working together too.
Absolutely. This is one of the key benefits, because it gets kids to the public library. It gets us talking about the same thing. We have the same goal, and that is to encourage kids to read and to incorporate that into their lives as a lifelong activity. So that's an exciting part, right?
Well, it's great. I know we see the benefits too. We have 10 copies usually of each of these books, and there's never more than 1 or 2 in at a time.
Really?
So those books are really out.
Okay.
Well, I would like to remind everyone that the party this year is at the Penn Library on February 20th, 1993 at 10:30, and Doug Wood is our featured speaker. We will have an autograph session. You'll be able to buy some of his things and get them autographed. And we're really fortunate today. We've had the representatives of the Bloomington elementary schools come. They are going to be doing book reviews on each of the books, and there will be a group of students that will introduce the book reviewing with a question each about the books that are up for nomination this year as the favorite of the Bloomington 4th grade All-Stars.
Hi, my name's Mike Ringheim.
My name's Amanda Turnquist.
My name is Amy Bryan.
We're from Indian Mounds Elementary School.
We have prepared introductions introductory questions for each book that will be reviewed today.
How much information can you get in a trip to the pencil sharpener?
Number the stars. Did you ever wonder what it would be like to be hidden in someone's house during World War II? The K. How would you feel if you were shipwrecked on a small desert island with only an old man and a cat for company?
Fat Man from Space. What do you suppose it would be like to be kidnapped by aliens who have a craving for junk food?
The house with a clock on its walls. What would it be like to live in a house with a mysterious clock that appears to be hidden in its walls? On my honor, have you ever made a promise and not kept it and then sorry for it later?
The Sign of the Beaver. What do you think it would be like to live for 7 weeks without a family?
Bridge to Ridgeview. Wouldn't it be fun to use your imagination to make up a make-believe kingdom that you could rule forever? 4th grade is a jinx. Did you ever think what it would be like to have your mom as your teacher?
Soup. Have you ever thought about having a friend named Soup?
The Burning Questions of Bingo Brown by Betsy Byers.
Hi, my name is Liz Bryson.
And I'm Emily Garibaldi from Hillcrest Community School.
We're here to tell you about Burning Questions of Bingo Brown and what we've learned about it.
In the Burning Questions of Bingo Brown, Bingo was the main character. Bingo was an unusual, freckled, red-headed boy. He was a girl watcher and a questioner. He was 11 years old and a daydreamer. The other main characters were Melissa, a girl Bingo falls in love with, Mr. Markham, Bingo's teacher, Billy Wentworth, Bingo's next-door neighbor, and Dawn, Mr. Markham's so-called girlfriend.
This story is about Bingo and his problem of being confused about life. The problem started when Mr. Markham started acting weird and asked his class to write letters to a fake friend that was trying to commit suicide. Then Mr. Markham drives off the road and hurt himself in a motorcycle accident. He usually wears his helmet. This story takes place in the 1980s and lasts about 3 months. In the end, Bingo gets to know himself and gets to visit his teacher.
The theme of the story was, don't worry about getting into adulthood. It will come by itself. The evidence of the theme was he was questioning himself in his journal too much, and in the end, the answers just come to him. Bingo had lots of questions. Bingo had strong feelings. We recommend this book to all readers.
Hello, my name is Nathan. And my name is Brandon. We're from Ridgeview School. We're here to tell you about one of the most funniest book you'll ever read. This book is written by the best author living on Earth today, Daniel Manus Pinkwater. This book is one of the most funniest books ever written by Daniel Manus Pinkwater. This book is about William and one of the weirdest feelings you'll ever read about. Find out about William and find out how he ends up on a spaceship. Read about William and his great adventure through space. Find out about William and his funny pranks in school. You'll read what a vegetable breakfast is. So join in the fun when you read Fat Man from Space.
Hello, we're from Westboro Elementary School, and we're going to tell you about the Adventure All-Star book, Sign of the Beaver. My name is Robin Angela, and this is what the story is about. The story takes place in the woods in the state of Maine long, long ago. Matt, a 13-year-old boy, is left in the wilderness to guard his family's newly built cabin. Matt was left with no way to hunt because his gun was stolen by an old man. There were many adventures that Matt had, but we will tell you just some of the ones we liked. Jolene will tell about one of the most important adventures that Matt had.
Hi, my name is Jolene Smith, and I'm going to tell you an important adventure that Matt had. One day, Matt was hungry for some honey, so he climbed up a tree. He put his hand into the beehive, but some bees stung him. He fell to the ground. There's a stream nearby, so he started running towards it. When he got there, he dove in. He dunked his head under a few times, and after a while, the bees went away. He was still very weak and could not move. But an old Indian man saw him in the water, and he carried him out of the water out of the water and brought him back to his cabin. He provided food, water, and medicine. The reason why this is an important event in the book, The Sign of the Beaver, is because Matt learns his lesson not to play around bees, and even more importantly, he meets an old Indian man and his grandson, Etienne, who is one of the most important characters in the book.
Matt and Etienne were sort of enemies, but eventually became good friends and had lots of fun together. Claude, Rock and Roll, and Aunt Gregoire would tell of another adventure.
Hi, my name is Aunt Gregoire. This is one of the greatest adventures that Matt and Etienne had. They were out in the woods and decided to visit the beaver dam. Matt was carrying a dead rabbit by the ears. They saw a baby bear cub. Soon an angry mother came and swatted the baby bear away from the boys. Then Matt threw the rabbit at the mother bear, and that distracted her for a few seconds. That gave Etienne time to take out his bow and arrow and shoot the mother bear. After that, Etienne told the bear something in a different language. We will read a little bit out of that chapter. Claude will be Matt, or Etienne, and I will be Matt. What were you saying? Matt demanded when the speaking was over.
I tell bear I do not want to kill, Etienne answered, and do not kill she-bear with cub. I tell bear we did not come here to hunt.
But it might have killed us both.
Maybe. I ask bear to forgive that I must kill.
Well, I'm mighty thankful you did, Matt said stoutly. He was about to say that he had never been so scared in his life, but he thought better of it.
Etienne looked at him and his solemnness suddenly dissolved in a grin. You move quick, he said, like Indian.
Matt felt his cheeks turn red.
The reasons why we recommend this book are, it's a good adventure, it tells a good way to survive in the wilderness, it shows how two different people can get along, and it shows how two different people can teach each other different things and become friends.
Hi, my name is Jess Krumnick, and I'm from Washburn Elementary. I read the book The Cay by Theodore Taylor. Philip lives on a Dutch island off the coast of Venezuela during World War II. The Germans have surrounded the island with the submarines, and Philip's mother wants to return to Virginia, where they originally came from. They sail for America, and on the second day, the ship is torpedoed. Philip and his mother board a life raft, and as it is being lowered into the water, Philip is hit on the head by a boom and is knocked into the water. He is rescued by Timothy, a large black crewman who puts him on a raft along with the cat. They drift for about a week, during which time Philip becomes blind. Finally, they land on the Cay, an island surrounded by a reef, which is dangerous for ships because it's larger underwater than it is above. Once on land, Timothy and Philip need food and shelter to survive. Can an old man and a blind boy survive alone on a cay? A cay located in an area where hurricanes strike? Read the book to find out.
Hi, I'm me. This is him. No, just kidding. I'm Jordan Soda.
And I'm Andy Martin.
And we're doing we're going to be doing a rap for the book Number of the Stars.
And we're from Elk Grove Elementary School. Okay. What I have here is a book.
Why don't you just take a look?
To build up your vocabulary.
Just like Auntie and me.
You'll find it very interesting for you.
And some of it just may be true.
There's a girl named Anne-Marie.
She is not very much like me.
And Ellen has a friend who's a Jewish girl.
She may just have long, dark curls.
But Hitler doesn't like her anyway.
So the Johanssons have to take her away.
Tell Uncle Henrik to call on the phone.
I have a carton of cigarettes.
If you
Want to know what happens next, you need to read the book and find out.
Hi, I'm Monica Manning.
And I'm John Riley, and we're from Valley View School.
This is a story about two friends, Joel and Tony. They were taking a bicycle trip to the Starboard Rock Bluffs. Along the way, Joel does Tony to a swimming race in the dangerous Vermilion River, but Tony can't let Joel think he's scared. So Joel starts out with a breaststroke. He takes a few dog paddles, and then away he goes. After he puts his head down into the water and brings it back up, he turns around and sees that Tony is really struggling in the water. He reaches the sandbar and looks and turns around. He sees Tony's nowhere in sight. He thinks he just went under to fool Tony. So he looks around. Tony's nowhere in sight. So he swims back to the sandbar, and then when he gets home, he has to face his mother and father and tell them the terrible truth about what happened to Tony. He has a real trouble telling them, but he finally brings up enough courage to tell his mother and father about the story.
This book was written by Marion Dane Bauer. I think this is a good book because it teaches you a lesson about friends. I think this book should win the All-Star Award because it tells you not to be afraid to tell people when something goes wrong.
Hi, we're from Ridgeview Elementary School. My name is Lisa Hartley.
And my name is Amber Krause. We read the book Soup. It is a great book. You should read it.
Now we're going to tell you a little bit about the book Soup. It is about two boys named Robert and Sue. They are sort of troublemakers, but then again they're funny, and they always think of a plan. But they are poor, so they don't have that nice of clothes.
On Chapter 6, the football valve is hard to find. That is what we have over here on the poster. Soup's real name is Luther. No one really called him Luther because he did not like that name. If somebody called him that name, he would get mad. When his mother called him Luther, he would ignore her and get mad.
We think you should read the book Soup.
Hi, my name is Brianna Johnson.
And my name is Katie Anderson. And I'm Andrea Nye.
We're from Normandale Hills Elementary School. This book is called Bridge to Terabithia. It is by Catherine Patterson. The first most important theme was friendship. The main characters of the story were Jesse and Leslie. They were both really good friends. They both had really good imaginations because they were the ones that made up Terabithia. For Christmas was coming up, and for Christmas, Jesse gave Leslie a puppy. His name was Prince Turin. And Leslie gave Jesse a paint set since he likes to paint so much.
The second most important theme is loss. Leslie dies trying to get to Terabithia, and Jesse doesn't believe it at first. Jesse is very sad and mad. He throws away Leslie's gift, and he wants to make his life normal again.
Leslie's parents decide to leave because they want to get away from memories. Jesse is sad and angry, but finally enjoys remembering Leslie. Jeff makes a wreath for Leslie. He builds the bridge to Terabithia so he and his sister can get to Terabithia safely. So if you want to read a good book, you should read Bridge to Terabithia. Hi, my name is Amanda Joyle. I'm from Olson Elementary School. I'm here to tell about the book, 4th Grade is a Jinx. The author of this book is a former elementary school teacher. Her name is Colleen O'Shaughnessy McKenna. This book is about her own 4 children. She lives with them and her husband in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I really like this book because it mostly tells about my life in 4th grade, except my mom didn't come and teach my class for a week. Yep, that's right. This book is about a girl named Colette Murphy. Her mom came in and taught her class for a whole week. Colette didn't like that idea at all. A lot of things happened to Colette, like they had a fire in the trash can, and the coolest guy in school found her pajama bottoms in front of the locker. The worst thing of all, her mom got a letter asking if she wanted a full-time 5th grade job. Colette said Mrs. Murphy is a better full-time mom for her sisters and brother, Steve and Laura, than a teacher. That's what I think of this book, 4th Grade is a Jinx. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Hi, I'm Emily Garibaldi, and I'm from Hillcrest Community School.
Hi, I'm Ann Gregoire. I'm from Westwood Elementary School.
Hi, I'm Brandon Huddleston, and I'm from Ridgeview Elementary School. The House with the Clock on Its Walls is about a boy who goes to live with his uncle. His parents die in a car crash, so he goes to live with his uncle, who is a white magician but lives in a black magician's house.
The evil magician hid a clock in each room. There's something dangerous about the clocks, but we can't tell you because we don't want to spoil it for you.
We recommend this book because it's a mystery and you won't want to put it down.
These fourth graders are truly all-stars. It's encouraging to see how much they've enjoyed this reading program. Thank you, Bob Knight, Phyllis Mattill, and thanks to all the fourth graders from the Bloomington schools. And thank you for joining us in All About Kids. Please tune in again.
This has been a presentation of Hennepin County Library in conjunction with the Twin Cities Metropolitan Library Service Agency. We thank you for watching, and we hope you visit your public library often.